Well, hey there, caregivers. You have read all of the pamphlets. You've watched every single expert video that you can get your hands on. You've joined groups and you've walked the awareness walks. And yet you're still feeling unprepared and not ready for those caregiving roles and responsibilities. And here's why. We often don't talk about the hard things that we should be talking about when it comes to dementia caregiving. So, what does this look like and how can we make it different? For those of you that don't know me, I'm Laura Wilkerson, family nurse practitioner and dementia care specialist. And I've spent the last decade talking to families just like yours, and they're saying things like, I feel so alone. Nobody is listening to me. Nobody is helping me. I was really unprepared for this role. I have all of this discharge paperwork, and now what do I do with it? Well, I've got you covered because today we're going to talk about 5 things that no one talks about in dementia caregiving. The first thing that I want to talk about is that people are going to disappear out of your life. Your friends, your family, your coworkers, and those people that you once used to be able to count on. Most caregivers that I work with say, I was prepared for those routine shifts. Like I knew I was going to have to give up some of my activities of daily living, some of the things that I enjoyed to step into this new role as a caregiver. But what I didn't expect was that my family, my friends, my neighbors, those people that I was close with are no longer available to come around. And if I pick up the phone to call them, they've got other plans or suddenly they're just not available right now. This breaks my heart, honestly, because we should be talking about this and preparing caregivers for this type of experience and giving them the backup resources that they need and when they need them. Look, you're not being dramatic when you say something like, I feel alone. I feel my family's abandoned me. This deserves to be acknowledged because we all desire to feel connection and we all desire to feel like we have a place where we belong. And admitting that you're feeling lonely is definitely not a weakness. The second thing that I want to talk about is that caregivers often struggle with grief long before the death of their person happens. And this is 100% normal. It's called anticipatory grief. You grieve the roles, you grieve the traditions, you grieve the person that they once were. You grieve that bucket list that the two of you might have put together before the dementia kicked in, before your person lost their ability to leave home without assistance. And this doesn't make you a crazy person for wanting to do all of those things. It makes you human that you're grieving the loss of your person, even though they're still right there with you. The third thing that we don't talk about is the fact that most caregivers are going to be forced into a medical role with no training. You'll have your hospital discharges, your medication list, your medication changes, but nobody tells you how to track what side effects or what interactions or what to look for. You're going to have to keep track of all those specialists. Suddenly you're in charge of someone's healthcare and no one gave you the manual. No one is telling you how to do these things. They just tell you that you should be doing those things. In the medical system, we speak shorthand. We drop words like progression or that your person has plateaued, and we expect that you're going to know what we're talking about without a real explanation. And that's kind of why I've been talking about the medical assistance planner, because it's a one-stop place for you to keep everything organized. And when you have those questions, you can catch up with your doctor, you can catch up with your specialist and ask them, what did you mean by? It's that one sanity saving tool that helps you stay one step ahead, not 5 notebooks, not 32 sticky notes, just one simple spot. The fourth thing that we don't talk about is that guilt is going to show up for you even when you're doing everything right. Look, guilt doesn't always make sense. It's kind of sneaky. It creeps in those little gaps, those little moments that you have to yourself, like maybe when you're getting your coffee in the morning and you have this thought over here, and then all of a sudden you feel extremely guilty for what it is that you're thinking. Because I know I've worked with numerous families and we'll be in a medical visit and they'll lean in and say, I really need a break, or I just wish this was over for my loved one. And then all of a sudden, I can see it in their face. I can see the shame. I can see the guilt. I can see the fear in their eyes. And they have this huge sense of, I shouldn't have said that. But honestly, it's okay. Again, this just makes you human for having these feelings. There's no reason to be ashamed that you have those feelings. It's okay. Having guilt is not a diagnosis. It's just a symptom that you're burning out or burned out as a caregiver, and that you need to take some time and get that restorative care for yourself. The last thing that I think that we need to talk about is that caregiving is going to change you, and that's not a bad thing, because caregiving is going to stretch your limits. It's going to reshape the person that you are. And I think that honestly, it's going to bring you to your knees at some point. But it's also going to teach you what matters most. It will give you the strength that you never asked for, and yet you'll still be able to show up. I know that you didn't choose this role for yourself, and I know that you didn't ask for it, but you've earned the right to be recognized, supported, and heard. And before I go, I'd like to leave you with this one thing that I'd like you to try. I want you to take 5 minutes to ask yourself, what do I wish someone had told me right before this journey started? I want you to write it down, journal it, or just even say it out loud to yourself. Because once you name what's missing, that's the first step into really recognizing and obtaining what you really need. Over the next few weeks, I'll be sharing more honest conversations just like this one, and a free tool that I've been working on to help close the gaps from the medical system to the caregiver side. I would love for you to follow along with this series, and if you have questions, make sure you pop them in the comments below. And one more final thought. If any of these 5 things hit home with you today, it's not because you're failing. It's because you've been expected to carry too much without any guidance. And I'm here to change that for you, because these aren't things we see on awareness posters, but they're the truths that caregivers live every single day. And if no one else is going to say it, I'm absolutely going to say it. You're not behind. You're not broken. You've simply been handed an impossible role with little guidance, with little support or help. And as we enter into Alzheimer's and Brain Awareness Month, let's not just raise awareness for the disease, but let's raise awareness for the people who are holding it all together. And that's you. And until next time, I'll be here sharing for you while you're caring for them. See you next week.